What's up, from today we're showcasing my run to legend in Season 7 of Go Battle League. I hit it with the team that's currently on screen. Melmetal with Rock Slide, Superpower and Thundershock as a fast move, Pelipper with Wing Attack, Hurricane and Wearable, and Purified XL Sableye with Return and Foul Play. And Shadow Claw is a fast move. My Sableye is XL, so not everyone will have access to it, of course. But just a regular Sableye, level 40 works just fine. Or you can pick a different anti-fighter like Deoxys, like Hypno, like even Altaria or Air/Tropius. Should work fine, maybe even Azumarill, which most people have. I think all good. The most important part, I think, is the Melmetal Pelipper core. That's just very, very strong, especially in a 30-second switch timer meta, which I did hit legend in. Anyway, enough talking about the teams, let's just head straight into the battles. First battle, I lead Melmetal into A9. This is a very good lead. A9 lead is something I've seen a lot the past couple days, so Melmetal does quite well there. In comes Politoed. It's a really good swap in. Just have to watch out for the Blizzard, but even one Blizzard doesn't KO, and he wasn't even there. So I just no shield the wearables. Pelipper is a really, really good answer against Politoed, which is also quite common in the current meta. I just go straight for the Hurricane, not expecting a shield. In comes the A9 again. Swaps are just insane with the 30-second timer. Going to Melmetal once again. Melmetal is pretty solid as a steel type, but it's not the most solid steel type. Something like Stunfisk versus Steel do the job way better. But what I really like about Melmetal is it's just so flexible. It can hit the fire types with Rock Slide and Superpower, of course. Just a very strong move. He sacrificial swaps here into Politoed, but that's all good with me. He tries to get a move. I catch it on my Pelipper, which is great. He might not have another answer to Melmetal. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, he throws another move. I'm just gonna let it go. He showed an A9. He's shown a Politoed. I'm expecting another water type in the back. And with the shield advantage, Sableye will be able to kill whatever water type it is. It could even be like an Umbreon. Maybe. An Umbreon or a Dark type. That's sometimes combined with A9. But I'm not expecting it. And even if it is, Sableye and Melmetal with a shield advantage can kill it. It's a freaking Charmer with A9 up front, which is just wild to me. But I'm gonna get off the return right here. If he doesn't shoot, does a bunch of damage, and hopefully I can get to 2 moves and kill it with Melmetal. It goes to the Politoed, but doesn't get to a move. I'm able to Thundershock it down. That's really nice. I go for the Rock Slide here. I'm gonna go for a Rock Slide and then a Superpower, and hopefully my switch timer will be up then, so that I can clear the debuff. I go for Superpower. Hopefully it skills. If it doesn't, I gotta swap it to Sableye to clear my debuff, or the charms will do way too much. 1 HP on the Wigglytuff. Thundershock it down. Let's go. As you could see, Melmetal not the bulkiest steel type. It took a lot of damage from those charms. Alright. Sableye lead, not great. Melmetal generally loses this because those Shadow Claws really adding up. Foul Play is a way better move than a Rock Slide as well, and just way harder hitting, coming from a Sableye. So I'm gonna hit one Rock Slide, swap it to my Pelipper because I'll outpace the Sableye to the moves. In comes Vigoroth, which is quite interesting, but it's a pretty neutral matchup. I think we might have simultaneous swap there, to be honest. I think he might have wanted to swap his Vigoroth into my Melmetal, but I was able to catch it with my Pelipper, which is quite good. But even still, this matchup is quite neutral. As you could see, those Voltage Slams do quite a bit. I'm gonna have to shield the second one, and I'm gonna go for Hurricane right there. I'm not expecting him a shield. If I throw a Weather Ball, I'm expecting him to just get another Body Slam, and then I'd have to use another shield, and that would be great. With no shields to Hurricane, that's really good for me. Here comes a Sableye. Can I get to this Weather Ball? I can. He's gonna have to shield right here if he wants to keep his Sableye alive, which he does. I'm just gonna let my Pelipper go. Go into Melmetal. Hopefully get to the Rock Slide right here. Not before he throws a move, though. I am gonna no shield this. I want to save my shields for Sableye. Again, Sableye in the back is so strong. With a shield, it can beat pretty much everything except for Charmers. It can even beat most Dark types with a shield up. Even Umbreon it can beat with a shield up. Though, since the Sableye just got another move, it's gonna be a lot tougher. But I'm gonna let it go just in case it's like Venusaur, which can hit a Sableye really hard with a Frenzy. I go for a double foul play right here, but Return would have KO'd. I was just a bit worried, but Return would have been enough. I should have gone for the Return. It's way safer. But this is still alright. Hit him with double foul play. Now we'll be able to farm down the Sableye. It's a great game. Alright, Melmetal into Ninetales once again. A very common lead I saw. Venusaur, pretty tough for this team to be honest. Venusaur actually wins with the Zero Shield versus Melmetal because Frenzy just hits so hard. And Rock Slide, as you can see, doesn't even do 50%. It's a pretty trash move. And Thundershocks are resistant. So I'm gonna shield the Frenzy from this Venusaur right here and try to kill him with my Pelipper. Somehow we CMP tied, but that's all good. Yeah, Pelipper versus Venusaur CMP tie is IV dependent actually. My Pelipper is quite high stat product. It's like a rank 13, so I usually do lose CMP versus Venusaur. Except if they're really high ranked. Alright, it's a Charm Ninetales. I barely survived that Charm with my Pelipper and I have a Weather Ball stored up still. Going to my Melmetal, I'm gonna get off these Rock Slides right here. These are super effective, but Rock Slide nowadays is not the best move, and from a Melmetal, which is relatively bulky, doesn't do that much. I can't Thundershock down at least. In comes Umbreon. This is quite tough. Maybe I should have superpowered and dipped, but the problem is since the switch timers are only 30 seconds, if I superpowered and dipped, like, he would have dipped out of this Umbreon before I got to the return. So that's not great. I'd rather not misalign or switch timers in this meta. So I'm just going to go for the return. As you can see, they did a bunch of damage. That's why Purified Sableye is so good. If you don't have one yet, I really advise you to go hunt for those Shadow or those Dark type grunts. I think it's in Dark types grunt currently. It's pretty common there. It's just so strong. Definitely a worthy investment. Anyway, he comes back in with the Umbreon. Still has a low health Pokemon in the back. But I'm going to go straight for the shoot power here. He's gonna need to shoot this if he wants the Umbreon to live. If we CP tie, he gets to the foul play. I gotta let it go because I don't have any shields. And now hopefully I can get to another return with my Sableye. Go straight for it. I get it. Let's go. I was kind of afraid he was gonna sacrificial swap there, but he didn't. Get the return. Venusaur is very low in the back, and I take it out. GG. Alright. Electivire. What? This thing is insane. Electivire gets to Wild Charges at the same rate I get to Rock Slides. It only takes 5 Thundershocks. It also takes 5 Way Attacks for me to get to the wearable. It takes 6 Shadow Claws for me to get to the foul play. So this Electivire outpaces all 3 of my Pokemon. And Wild Charge basically one-shots all 3 of them. So honestly, I'm not looking that great. I'm double shielding. In hindsight, maybe I could have lived that Wild Charge and gotten to the Rock Slide. Maybe that's what I should have done. But you're gonna see. I'm gonna try to sacrifice. I know I lose CMP. So I'm gonna sacrifice my Sableye right here. And this does a shitload. That was insane. In comes the Venusaur. We saw how much Rock Slide did earlier to Venusaur. Nothing. So I'm gonna go into Pelipper to get some wing attack damage. That hurts. Bring in my Melmetal to kill him with the Rock Slide. And now I just gotta hope that whatever's in the back gets one-shot by a Weather Ball from Pelipper or that Melmetal can take it out. But it's a Jellicent, which is really bulky. So I will be able to get the 2 Rock Slides here. But there's still a Electivire in the back. I need to over farm. But I tried to swap into Pelipper to catch a Shadow Ball and CMP with him on the Weather Ball. But he swaps into Electivire, which is honestly quite good for me. Because now I get some wing attack damage. And hopefully this Rock Slide KOs now. I'm not even gonna get it. So really good game to my opponent. That's some spice right there. But this team doesn't like electric types, that's for sure. Luckily they're not really in the meta anymore. Alright, Swampert into Melmetal. This is quite bad, but luckily I have Pelipper in the back. I throw Super Power and I'm gonna swap after 2 Thunder Shocks to throw off my opponent and hopefully catch a move. There we go, we got it. You know, most people at like near legend rating, they don't throw their move immediately after a charge move because they expect a swap. And another common swapping technique is throwing 1 fast move after your charge move and then swapping and catching. But that's why I threw 2, because that's weird, and I was hoping you threw it at that time. As you can see there, I tried to swap to Melmetal to catch this move, but the switch time was barely not up. So I just go for the Hurricane right here, not expecting a shield. I just want to get rid of this thing now. There we go. Get rid of that A9. What does he bring in now? I think, yeah, he does bring in the Swampert again, which is wild to me. And I'm gonna pull off some crazy play right here. I want to keep my Pelipper alive. but he's gonna kill it with this Swampert if he swaps. But he tries to catch a Weather Ball on Stropius, and I try to catch a Hydro on my Melmetal, and I get my Melmetal locked into the Stropius, which is honestly quite lucky. Honestly, this is quite lucky. I'm gonna be able to kill his Stropius with my Melmetal now, which is ideal. I still have my Sableye in the back for Swampert, and I also still have the Pelipper with a little bit of health, and Swampert can't much shut down a Pelipper, so this is looking quite good for me. Yeah, brings in Swampert, throws immediately, doesn't want to play around, doesn't want to get hit by a superpower from that range. Of course, in comes the Sableye. I'm just going to catch this move right here, and I still got my Flying Toilet in the back to take out this Swampert. Let's go. Flying Toilet coming through as always. It's a good game. Good game. Swampert lead, not bad. Alright, another Swampert lead, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. Throw superpower immediately. I want to Sex Swap into Pelipper to catch a Hydro, but doing it immediately is too obvious. Doing it after one Thundershock is too obvious. Doing it after two is weird, so that's what I'm doing. And we catch it once again. 2 times. Not bad. Alright, catch the Hydro. He stays in for a little bit. It brings in the Skarm, which is not great. 3 Air Slashes, 4 Air Slashes, 5 Air Slashes. Try to CMP tie with him right here. It's 5 Air Slashes for the Sky Tech, so I try to throw it right on there, and he does throw, which is really good for me because he can't really over farm in that case. Don't get to my next Weather Ball. I die right before. That's fine. I bring in Melmetal right there. I just want to get this Rock Slide off like pretty much immediately to chip this Skarmory, brings it into Thundershock's downrange or into a Shadow Claw downrange later. He brings back in the Swampert. I will shoot this Hydro Cannons because they will definitely hurt. I kind of lost count here, so I'm gonna throw my move, but we CMP tie, which is probably the worst thing that can happen to me. If I didn't CMP tie, I would have been able to farm down. Now we can just let this go, and I have a Sableye without energy, but he shields it, which is just great for me. He's not gonna be able to get to another Hydro. I swap here, catch the Sky Attack on my Melmetal. Just great news for me. Skarmory locked in, no energy anymore. I can Thundershock this down. Even if he brings in the Swampert, again, I can just Rock Slide it. But he comes in with the... Oh, he does come in with the Swampert. Oh, yeah, he did come back in with Swampert. I can shield this move. And I can Thundershock down if I want to. But there is the Stunfisk. I'm going to throw a Superpower. I have 2 stored, but I can swap out right here. Reset my attack drop. Come in with Sableye. Throw a Foul Play. This will put it into Superpower range. I have to remember though, it still has a Swampert in the back, so once I come back in with Melmetal, I gotta be careful to not throw my superpower into the Swampert. This doesn't KO because he's actually undercharged that, hoping to get some more energy. He's currently at 4 mud shots. He needs 5 for the next one, so he needs 1 more mud shot. What I'm gonna do is I'm going into Melmetal. I waited there for like half a second, half a mud shot, to throw my superpower in the middle of his animation, kill the Stunfisk, farm down the Swampert. That's a great game. Alright, next match. Deoxys into Melmetal. Bad. I go into Pelipper. Still not great, because Thunderbolt one-shots, Rock Slide, hurts, Psycho Boost. Oh, okay damage. You don't really want to take it most of the time, but he can take it. In comes Azu. This is pretty good, honestly. Azu. Pelipper is probably my best Azu answer. In this team, Melmetal also does decent, but the Rock Slides just don't do that much, and Hydro hurts. They have Hydro, and most of the time these days they do have Hydro. I shoot the Ice Beam, which is alright, because now but I'm gonna have to shoot again now, which is quite unfortunate. He just brings in his Deoxys again. This is amazing for Sableye. This is what I love to see. I'm just gonna take one move. I have 3 Pokemon. Like, 1 in the yellow, 1 still green, but now 2 in the yellow. And he has 2 shields. This is not looking that great for me, unfortunately. Unless he has another... unless he's weak to Melmetal in the back. This is not looking that great. He gets another move. I pressed my Foul Play already. Hopefully he doesn't fire. But it did. It's like one of those weird CMP ties I just got there. This should not have fired, but that's is what it is. Just gonna play around it now. I have 2 Weather Balls stored up on Pelipper, so I'm gonna throw 1 into this Stunfisk. This is alright. If I can get a Superpower on this as well, I'm fine. He sacrificial swaps a second Weather Ball. This is perfectly fine with me, because this doesn't KO. And now I can hopefully farm down the Azu right before he gets to an Ice Beam. I think he died with it. which is just beautiful. Go for another Weather Ball. This Stunfisk cannot farm me down. Cannot farm me down. I get to another Weather Ball if he tries to farm me down, which he does try to do. It's his only win con, really, because I would outpace to an Earthquake, to a Superpower against the Stunfisk before I get to the Earthquake, basically, with my Melmetal. Yes, that is a great match. I'm gonna shock this down. Let's go. GG. Alright. Next game, Melmetal into Umbreon. This is a neutral lead. If I get the baits here with Superpower, I'll win this. But I'm just gonna go straight for Superpowers. If he no shields, perfect. If he shields, fine. I'll swap to Pelipper. If he shields, I'm actually gonna double up. I'm gonna throw another Superpower. But if he no shields, I'll just go straight to Pelipper to clear my debuff. Even if I get my Sableye lined up against this thing in the end game, that's fine. Because my Sableye has return. And we've seen how much damage it does. In comes Deoxys, which is very good for... Well, it is alright for Pelipper because I resist the counters. But I'd rather see it on my Sableye. So whilst it is decent, I'm gonna swap right here as soon as I can. Because the switch timers are misaligned. He still needs, like, after his charge move, he's still, like, locked in for, like, 5 seconds with this Deoxys. Or no, I counted wrong. He brings in the Umbreon immediately. Still fine, though. Still got a bunch of Shadow Claw damage on that Deoxys, which is all good. I brings in the Umbreon. At this point, I'm just gonna get over a return and swap to my Melmetal instantly. Because this return will KO. And if he shields, I can go to Melmetal and throw a Superpower. I held off on throwing, though, which is still fine, but now I gotta spend Rock Slides on this Deoxys. If he lets this go, that's just beautiful for me. I haven't seen what's in the back, though, and he has seen my full line, so he can definitely play around it. It's a Politoed, though, which Pelipper is just great against. I go for the Superpower here because he gets. I would not have reached the Rock Slide, and does more damage. Superpower does more damage than Rock Slide in neutral situations. You could see that did a good chunk. Even though Sableye is worse against Umbreon, I'm gonna bring in Pelipper because it's just such a dominant matchup. I can take these Weather Balls just fine. If he comes back in with the Umbreon, I can use my Sableye on it. To be honest, Sableye still survives a foul play from the range I'm in. I can even still get to return. So I'm looking pretty good. I go for the Weather Ball, he shields. I go for another Weather Ball. This is gonna KO. And then I still have Sableye for the Umbreon. And my Pelipper still has decent health as well. So this is looking quite good for me. Yeah, the Umbreon does get to a move here. I'm just gonna let it go, just to see how much it does. And I can get to the return here, and that is GG again. Sableye just showing off his powers, but also Melmetal with his superpowers was just insane this game. Azu into Melmetal, decent, pretty neutral, but Hydro hurts. Hydro hurts a lot. So I'm gonna go for Rock Slides here. If it runs Hydro, but I think most Azus, especially lead Azus, run Hydro. I am gonna shield this up most likely. It is the Hydro. That is a good shield. After shielding this Hydro, I think I can take this matchup in the ones or maybe twos. But I'm probably gonna try to sack if we get to another one. He is currently at 4 bubbles. So he needs 3 more for the Hydro. That's 1. That's 2. He's 6 bubbles. This can't be a Hydro. No need to shield right here. Just an Ice Beam, which Melmetal of course resists, so he can easily tank it. I have a bunch of energy stored on it right now. In comes a Fighting type, which is quite bad. In comes Bastiodon, which is probably even worse. Maybe I should have swapped in Sableye versus the Machamp, to be honest. But the problem is that Sableye can take a Rock Slide from Machamp, and Pelipper can't take a Rock Slide from Machamp. So I think that might have been an alright play. I still have Superpower stored, so if I get shields down from this Bastiodon, my Melmetal will be able to take it out. But I only get 1 shield right there. I swap a Superpower. At this point, the Machamp is probably gonna get back in to counter me down. He only gets like 2 counters though, which is alright. This point, I just need to kill this Machamp before he gets to 2 Rock Slides. I'm gonna shoot this up right there because Rock Slide does so much. It does so much. He cross shops, and here I make a big mistake. I overfarm bit too much. We see Pitai, which is the worst thing that can happen. Basically, I'm almost dead. We see Pitai. I should have just thrown before. Honestly, a Stone Edge would do less than his Rock Slide. I try to catch a Stone Edge right here. Just in case I might get to another foul play, but I don't. GG to my opponent. But I could have definitely played that better. Alright, Melmetal Mirror. Yeah, I play this out differently every single time. This time I'm gonna try to catch a Superpower on my Sableye. He's one off, double. And usually throw a double, right? So I'm gonna throw one Superpower, throw another Thunder Shock, and he didn't throw the Superpower, but he did throw on my Sableye, which I'm fine with because now we misalign our switch timers. And he throws another one, so now our switch timers are really, really misaligned. But my Sableye is in the red, which is just not great. I am only gonna be able to get to one move right there, so I'm gonna throw the foul play immediately. Does a good chunk. I'm gonna swap into Pelipper. I don't want to get farmed down. But this so far is not looking great. The Melmetal still has a tiny bit of energy. And he can swap it in right now against my Pelipper. Meganium, also a very tough Pokemon for my entire team, to be honest. Alright, I did get this Melmetal kind of low. I catch the Rock Slide on my Sableye, which is quite an important play right here. Burns a bunch of energy. I bring in my Melmetal. I just go for the Rock Slide because I don't really want to debuff myself. Because his timer is up and mine isn't. So he's going to be able to bring in the Deoxys right here. Honestly, at this point, I didn't think I'd be able to win this, but just wait. We're gonna bring this quite close. No spoilers. So I guess that's spoilers, but alright. I will shield this. Right? Yeah, I will, because if it's Rock Slide or Thunderbolt, that does a lot of damage. I farmed down this Melmetal with my Pelipper. He tried to sack, he didn't get it. Farmed it down, which is big, but the Thunder Shocks definitely added up. He brings in Meganium. I'm just gonna go for the Weather Wall. I don't want to get killed by a Frenzy. This does KO. I'm gonna go for a Weather Ball straight away. At this point, I might get to another Weather Ball, which I do. This is a CMP tie because I threw right on his Rock Slide. Is this a CMP tie? Yes, it is, and that's beautiful. Now I just need to get to the Superpower before he gets to a Psycho Boost, which I should be able to with his Energy Dry. And I do. I think that's another CMP tie. That is a crazy close game. GG. Which with a pretty horrible lead, to be honest. Deoxys is probably the worst lead we can face. And we won it, which is just amazing. Alright. Azumarill lead again. This time, I think I tried to catch the Hydro on my Pelipper. It's currently on 5 bubbles, so it needs 2 more. That's 1. That's true. 2. Catch it. And we catch the Hydro, hopefully. But no. It's a play rough. This guy, he either baited or he just doesn't have Hydro. Honestly, they most of the time they don't bait, so I'm expecting it's not Hydro. Also, I just over-tapped right there. I should have thrown a Weather Ball. I thought I could get Hurricane, but I was one off. That was really, really bad for me. It was really bad, but it happens. It happens. Now I'm just gonna have to live with my mistake. I'm shooting this Weather Ball because I'm kind of expecting Double Charm right now. And if it's Double Charm, I need to save my shields. Comes the Azu again. He threw a play rough against my Melmetal first, so I'm not expecting Hydro, to be honest. So I'm letting this go. I will just let this go. It is Hydro. He just baited me first time. Just imagine if he didn't bait and I threw and I caught that Hydro. It would have been great. Alright, Umbreon in the back. This is game over. I leave. No need to waste time right there. Alright, Stunfisk lead. Pretty neutral lead. Superpower hits like a truck, but not enough to kill, and Earthquake just KOs me. This is very bait-dependent lead. He's gonna shoot this up. I'm gonna try to catch an Earthquake right here. I do catch a move, but again, just like in the previous match, this is just he just baits, and I catch the bait. If I just no-shoot, my Melmetal would have been in a much better spot, but it's alright. Just get my Pelipper out of here. He comes in with his Toilet Bird. I might be able to get to the Hurricane. I barely don't. Again, I should have just thrown Weather Ball, but I was kind of tilted because I missed a couple fast moves. But that's alright. I bring in Melmetal right now. Like missing that Weather Ball isn't that big because well, kind of is because he gets the Weather Ball off right here. Yeah, that's not great. That is actually not great. But maybe Sableye can still pull through. Honestly, most of the time with the Stunfisk Pelipper team, it's like Venusaur in the back or Tropius with the shield advantage. Sableye can definitely deal with. So I'm gonna go all in on Sableye. I have shield advantage. Stunfisk gets nothing. It is the Venusaur. 2 foul plays. This thing is dead. Stunfisk, energy dry. This should be alright. This should be alright. Well, it's gonna be very, very close, actually. Gonna be very, very close. Stunfisk does have a little bit of energy. I get decent CMP tie there, so I do lose 1 Shadow Claw. So I don't have as much of an energy advantage anymore. Just gonna farm this down. No Shadow Claw through once again this whole game. He's just denying all my fast moves, which is just so unfortunate. But I can probably get to the double foul play right here. Somehow he wins CMP, which is also strange. But alright. I get the foul play. And I should have to, hopefully, he can't swap just yet because the timer is not up. It's probably going to be up in 5 seconds. So this was quite tight, but I had to throw immediately to make sure he couldn't sack. And now I just farm down the Venusaur. GG. Alright, Bastiodon into Melmetal. This is exactly why I have Melmetal on this team, to kill Basti. Because this is a pretty decent matchup. But still not that great because the Thunderstrokes do nothing, of course. He brings in Deoxys. This is beautiful because I have Sableye in the back to counter this very, very hard. I'm going to over farm right here. Just to 2 foul plays. Don't want to overdo it. And if he no-shoots this, it dies. And then I can just spend my Sableye on the Bastiodon. The issue here is that I can only get to 2 foul plays most likely, and that won't pressure any shields against the Bastiodon because they only do like 30% each. But now, oh, not even 30, just like 20. Wow, they did absolutely nothing. And it's still like 1 superpower to KO. So in the end, this is quite bad because this Bastiodon will have almost enough energy for a flamethrower. He will have enough energy for a flamethrower, actually. And I decided to no-shoot this because I'm expecting another fighter in the back, like Medicham. It is. So I save shields for Pelipper, because Pelipper with a shield down versus Medicham is not that great, especially if he baits. If he like Power Punch baits, then Psychics, that's awful for Pelipper. If he's only has 1 shield, so I need 2 shields to kill this thing. Weather Ball from his range doesn't KO yet, but with the following wing attacks it would, so I'm just gonna go straight for Weather Balls right here. These wing attacks are adding up, those counters are also adding up though, and he baited me with a nice punch earlier, so I gotta be afraid of the Psychic. Next, he swaps in his Bastiodon. I go into my Melmetal. This should be game, but because I still have a shield, I don't think he can get to an Ice Punch and a Psychic versus my Pelipper. And I also have a Weather Ball stored up. But I lose the CMP tie? What? I think there was some lag there. Luckily, I still had a shield though. Very luckily, I still had a shield. I could shield it, and now I get off the Weather Ball. Yeah, this game today, I went 18-7 with this team, but I think at least like 2 or 3 of my losses of that day were just from lag, because the game is just broken at the moment. Again, weak connection. Yeah, it is not great, unfortunately. But luckily, this team is so powerful. We were able to pull through some of the like again. We had this matchup before. I think it's not great. Venusaur actually wins the 0 shields because Rock Slide's not that strong, and Thunderstrokes do nothing. He safe swaps into a Stunfisk though, and I bring in my Sableye. Because this thing is actually quite strong against my team. It beats my Melmetal and Pelipper core. And Sableye is really the only thing that can beat it. But because Stunfisk is so bulky, I think Stunfisk generally does take this. But I'm just going to no-shield that. Get to another foul play. He has a bunch of energy. So the next move, I'm actually going to no-shield. Because if I shield this move, he's gonna outpace me to another Mud Bomb before I get to the foul play. So if I want to kill this Stunfisk with my Sableye, I would have to burn both shields, which I don't want. Which I definitely don't want to. So I just try to kill this thing with my Melmetal, and he does let it go, which is very nice. Brings in a fire type, which is quite good. Pelipper can now farm down the Venusaur and also kill the cast form most likely, and still have Rock Slide stored on Melmetal as well. This Venusaur still kind of healthy though. Might get to another frenzy. He's currently thrown 2 frenzies. So the 3rd one's always 5 Vine Whips. So he only needs like 4 more to get there. But I try to kill it with a Rock Slide. I don't get it though. At this point, 1 Rock Slide does more than 50%. So next one will KO. Thing is, he has to farm me down right here. He had a move, I think I already had a Weather Ball, but he had to farm me down, because if he didn't farm me down, my Pelipper would just farm him down. And then get a Weather Ball for the Venusaur. So his only winning play right there was, I think, trying to farm down my Melmetal. And then getting a like a Solar Beam on my Pelipper. But didn't work out for him. So, GG. Alright, Umbreon lead again. Again, neutral lead. If he shoots a Superpower, this is actually in Umbreon's favor. Generally, but if he does, I will just dip. Even if he no shoots the Superpower, I will just dip. Because that brings it into Hurricane range. That brings it into return range, so I don't really need to use my Melmetal on this thing anymore. I catch a foul play as well. I try to throw it immediately whilst my defense was lowered, which is very smart, but luckily I caught it on my Pelipper. Pelipper not the bulkiest one, but can definitely tank a foul play. And the second one as well. In comes Deoxys. This is beautiful. I don't even throw a move because I don't want to waste or burn his switch timer. I just go into Sableye and farm him down. I'm farming up right there. I'm not throwing my move. Not throwing my move until his switch timer is up. His switch timer is currently up, but I threw it right before it was up. So he dies right there, which is just great. I get the maximum amount of energy I need. If the Umbreon comes back in, I will return. In comes Ninetales. Oh, and I let my Sableye die. Oh, I remember this game. Yeah. Wait. All three of my Pokemon were very low health, and that Ninetales would just two-shield through all of my Pokemon. But my Melmetal did have a little bit of energy. To be honest, maybe I should not have quit that game. But I was kind of tilted because I had some Sylph matches before this where I just lagged out hard. So I was kind of tilted. I didn't want to do I didn't want anything to do with Charmer. So yeah, I just left. But I should have really stayed. Alright, anyway. Marowak lead. Oh, this is the final battle wet, by the way. Marowak lead. Not great for Melmetal, though Rock Slide is super effective. They don't do that much to Marowak, to be honest. So I go into Pelipper because I have two Marowak answers in the back. Here's a Ferrothorn, and he throws at 5 Bullet Seeds. That could be a Thunder, so I shield it, and that's a good shield because that would one-shot like 8 Pelippers. Go for the Hurricane, no shield right there. I try to catch a move, but I don't get it. In comes the Marowak. Maybe I should have thrown the Rock Slide on the Ferrothorn already to 1, burn the clock, and 2, get it. Because now he survives with a Thunder stored. That's not great. But anyway, opponent shields the Rock Slide, which is weird, but awesome. Throw another Rock Slide. Marowak can survive this, so I'm not expecting a shield. But my opponent does shield, which is quite great. I can get to another Weather Ball right here. And at this point, I'm expecting a Shift Tree in the back. Because Marowak, Ferrothorn, Shift Tree, quite a common line. It's the Calipang line. And if it's Shift Tree in the back, I will just return it with my Sableye. Should be in a decent spot. I'll be able to farm down the Marowak and return the Shift Tree. That's the ID. Waits a long time. It's Venusaur, which honestly is even better. It's even better because this also dies to return. I just have to watch out for the sacrificial swap. I don't want to return a Marowak. That'd be awful. So I'm gonna throw in the middle of his Vine Whip animation. You could see me stand still there for a little bit. I stood still for like half a Vine Whip. Threw the return in the middle of his animation. This Venusaur is dead. At this point I can farm down his Marowak. Hopefully. He did throw a move right there. I didn't get my Shadow Claw through, which is gonna make this really, really close. I even swapped to my Melmetal right there to Thunder Shock down. That was unnecessarily risky, but fun. Alright, here we see. That was the final battle. 30-33 rating. We hit Legend. Let's go. Pretty wild season, to be honest. Still a long time to go as well, but I did hit it. So very nice. This team, again, 18-7 with this team on the day. So definitely one I would recommend to everyone. But yeah, thank you all for watching this video. See you guys next time with probably more spice. We'll see.